What's up, everyone? This is the Three Dot Podcast, and as you can see to my left and to my right, Bogues and D-Buster is not here today. It is just a One Dot Podcast. My name is Gooz, and I will be taking you on a journey, as I always do. This time around, though, on the back, I do have Chaotic. He's chiming in.
Yo, 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 what it do, what it do?
Yo, yo, yo. And I wanted to just bring up a topic that I think is really important for Chaotic and I. We have been around, 2008. We've been storytellers in 2008, and that's the topic of today. The storytelling of then and now. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And really, what the storytelling of then and now encapsulates is things that I wanted to talk about when we first met. That was 2008. And do you remember exactly what was our first project together, Chaotic?
It was, and it was assigned by Romel Conclara. Shout out.
Yep.
TSC.
Shout out
ABS-CBN.
to ABS-CBN's very own Romel Conclara, Capua Collective. What's up? Shout out. And basically, he gave us this assignment to make a trailer. The trailer was this NBA kind of style commercial where
Amazing happens.
That's
exactly that.
But it was about PCN, Filipino Cultural Night. That's where Chaotic and the majority of us met here at the Three Dot Podcast. And then it dawned on me while trying to think of a topic today of the differences between storytelling and now. Something that really incited this whole entire thought process was a video from some of the peers and mentors that Chaotic and I kind of like followed and invented. Our whole entire idea of the way that we recorded, the way that we shot, was can we do it on a budget, almost zero budget every day? And it all kind of brought down into one thing, and those things, and Chaotic's gonna nod and agree to this, it's all about primal relationships.
Yep.
So when I talk about primal relationships, I'll be talking about primal relationships throughout storytelling between then and now. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up is in TV shows. You have sitcoms from back then, such as, Friends, or even How I Met Your Mother can be labeled as one of those, older shows. Cheers, Full House. You see all of these type of shows. But what's interesting now is the reoccurrence of Netflix and the way that they provide storytelling. And if you look at things now, for me personally, there's little or less value in terms of morals to the story. And that kind of leads to the primal relationships. When we looked at older TV shows like Nickelodeon, Hey Arnold, you'd see things that would kind of matter to you, like Stoop Kid. If you don't know what Stoop Kid is, Stoop Kid in Hey Arnold was a kid who was so afraid to leave his stoop, and the whole entire 20-minute episode was just kind of built into this crescendo of him finally learning how to leave the stoop. And it was such a small step, but it was very big to him. From what I see now, I don't see any of that type of storytelling. That primal relationship between someone trying to overcome a fear that they have, I don't really truly see that. And I think that's what makes TV shows great, and that's what makes storytelling so great. Now, I wouldn't say much of a big Netflix head, but I do also think that there is some type of way that some of the stories do kind of matter, but they don't make the whole entire thing about the person correlating with their struggle. I also think that's a part of the budget. As you see, it scales too with Hollywood films in general, or just Hollywood and Netflix budgets in general. The more that you have, the less true storytelling it has. And I think that also correlates with how Chaotic and I, when we shot our High and By videos, it was always about, does it feel good? Is it about the heart? Is it about the person? And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Chaotic, to any of this.
Yeah, no, we wanted to find a middle ground where people could relate, and usually the primal relationships were the ones that people could relate to the most. And also it's the easiest considering our budget.
Right. We had to write better stories because it had to fit the budget. But then you look at stuff now, Netflix comes out with a bunch of stuff, and maybe it's just my boomer ass talking, and maybe there are some good shows out there. But for me, I personally don't see or view anything that has something as significant as, Wendy Peppercorn when you're looking at The Sandlot, when you are looking at, Patty Mayonnaise, especially as a young kid trying to navigate through your adolescence, your teenagers. How does it feel with being like, in trying to court a girl when your parents are so busy working jobs? These things you grew up with. And then you kind of also try to feel like, oh, hey, wow, this is kind of like the guide to being a kid. And that's why I also think Ned's Declassified, such an amazing show. Their podcast is good, by the way, too. And TV shows now, they come with a very beginning, middle, and end. Squid Game, very good. I heard I didn't watch the third season. Have you watched the third season?
I'm on the last episode. It's
okay.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No. You can go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, I don't have my full opinion because I haven't finished it, but
Right.
So far, I love the build-up and everything, and it's pretty good. I like it so far.
Do you think, and this is just me too as well, with that, their primary relationships, they're good at that, and I think it's primarily because it's not American. Do you think? And maybe this is just a question to, our audience, and also just how we feel when we watch certain shows. I do know Breaking Bad, I would consider, is one of the most masterful in just terms of masterclass of storytelling, where we go through this kind of, hierarchy of someone who started out and completely relatable, running down on his bad luck, and then kind of just ramps up into this whole entire other person. I think that's actually something really cool, really interesting to talk about when you try to dissect, like, the morality of what this person does, because he's just trying to provide his family a better life. Right? And I know Breaking Bad is one of Chaotic's favorite all-time shows.
Oh, man, I binged that in like 1 week. It
Right.
was like right before the season finale, and I was like, I have to watch this, and it was all worth every freaking
Right.
second.
And a lot of people would say that is one of the few shows in terms of its storytelling that just made it like so good, like it was perfect in every single way. And I think so too. Sons of Anarchy was pretty good. Not as good as Breaking Bad. And the big one that made me think about this whole entire topic was How I Met Your Mother. The ending was so controversial at the time. It was considered like a bad ending. As I got older, I understood what the writers and what the show was trying to say. As we even progressed over time. I mean, it's okay to do spoilers here. With How I Met Your Mother, you're kind of falling in the steps of Ted when trying to find out who the mom is. You're a part of this audience trying to think, hey, who is the mother? And the last 2 seasons, you find out who the mother is, and it's an amazing character, only for her to have her untimely death, right? Due to an illness that's undisclosed, probably cancer. We can only assume from there. But as those episodes go on, we start to realize that it's not just about him trying to find this specific one. It was always about, and we know this, Robin. Robin Scherbatsky is also played by Colby Smulders. Now, when we talk about storytelling, people always often think that ending was really bad, and that he should have just stayed with Tracy, and it should have ended perfectly the way that it was. But that's not how life is. Life is ups and downs, good days, good hours, bad hours, a win, a loss. And I think as you get older, you start to understand why that ending mattered from a storytelling and primal element. Because of people, that's who you are. Yo, yo, yo. Mike Odd just walked in.
Hello, welcome, Mike Odd.
Howdy doody, Mike Odd.
Hello, hello.
Your audio is being picked up too because Mike's right there.
Oh, hello, hello.
Yeah. Just wanted to tell you about what the topic is today is of storytelling. We were talking about TV shows then and now and how storytelling is a bit different. But the next topic I wanted to talk about, and I know Mike Odd can also chime in as well, is video games. Video games then and now. I mean, who can really relate and compare from the previous past of video games to now? I
think I want to chime in because I've been playing the Nintendo Switch 2 for so long lately. Mario Kart then and now, it's, I don't know, it's like very similar, but it's very different.
Yeah.
Like the way Nintendo does the controls and the gameplay, like it still feels like Mario Kart, but and then the soundtrack and everything, but it's just much more advanced because you have all these tilt controls, buttons, like
right.
everything. But it's it's awesome. You guys should play.
You should play. That's your primary ad for Switch 2. I was thinking from a storytelling standpoint, though, coming from Final Fantasy to Link or whatever the case is, where Link has to go save the princess, or even Mario has to go ahead, and save the princess. Now we're seeing full cinematic masterpieces like The Last of Us, even Assassin's Creed storyline. Storytelling comes from a perspective of where everything is on the line and matters. I think it's really interesting because what is it? Bossy Pants from the 30 Rock writer. She's the actress as well. Oh man, I forgot her name. I feel really bad because I've read the whole book. Do you know who I'm talking about? She also wrote Mean Girls. Glasses.
I want to say Amy Schumer, but
no, it's definitely not Amy Schumer.
Amy
I'm
Poehler.
gonna get shot in the foot for that. Well, fucking hell, dude.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
I know. Do you know who I'm talking about, my God? No, not that. But she talks about when she writes in the creative process, it's about writing yourself into a corner. Like how is like more conflict is going to happen. And I think because we all relate, we all had bad days where we were like, when is this gonna fucking end? 30 Rock was one of those. Super cool. And if you watch the first episode of the pilot, it talks about Liz Lemon, who is a producer for a TV show, much like Saturday Night Live, going through the whole entire process where one thing happens after another and after another and after another. And it's just like, how can we make this and resolve all these things? But by the end of every episode, it gets fixed. Nowadays, shows aren't really like that. I mean, maybe some of them, such as Modern Family, but Modern Family's finally done now too. But I don't know any shows that really do have that. I know that Mike Odd, he's been on me about it, about K-pop Demon Hunters. Is it much more of a linear storyline? Can you attest to anything, Mike?
I mean, it's a pretty cool movie. I think if you are a fan of the K-pop genre, I think you're going to have a lot of fun watching this movie.
How do you feel about the storyline there? Like, is it much more linear, or is there one thing after the other?
It's pretty linear. I guess, the way you want to take it is, they revolve everything around K-pop and Korean culture, that everything kind of fits in, very well.
Nice. Is there any shows on, because Michael's the perfect person to ask, is there any shows that you think specifically that have one thing after the other and after the other where you're like, man, how are they going to get the hell out of this one now? That's new, like a newer show now.
I'm on the Korean the Korean wave right now, so Squid Game's for me.
Right.
For sure.
We were just talking about that before you walked in. And it was like one of those things though about primary relationships, like the stakes have to be high for everyone for you to feel something, and I know Squid Games does a really good job at that, because when they introduce each character, they're like, I have a debt because of XYZ, and again, I was asking Chaotic, maybe bit of that is because it's not American. I feel like every American production that I've seen now has this linear story and story process. Um, and I know that we're talking about video games right now, but the one that really goes back to it, since we're talking about TV shows, just to kind of segue a little bit back to catch up with Mike. One movie that Chaotic and Mike Otta have watched is a movie that it's an indie movie, but it's one of my favorite movies because it's like shit hits the fan. And that movie's called City Island.
Forgot about that.
Exactly.
Also, it's classic. I want to rewatch that.
Yeah, it's the story. The story goes where there is a prisoner and a prisoner guard. The prison guard finds out that the prisoner is his son and has to break the news to his family that he made without his son. So you should definitely watch it. It is crazy. It is full of cringe moments, very tense moments, very funny, dark comedy moments. But I mean, I'm telling you, the primal relationships of man finding out he has a son, and you can kind of see how he goes through it, is just, man, off the walls, crazy stuff. Did you remember anything from that film, Mike? Because I remember we watched it all together at Chaotic's house.
It's been a while, so I don't really remember.
Yeah. No, and that's totally fine. Because you just came from watching the new Jurassic Park movie, right?
Jurassic World
Jurassic
was
World.
yesterday, and then I watched F1 just now.
Oh, okay. How was that F1 in terms of storytelling?
Oh, the cinematography was great. Story is, again, pretty linear. It's just, the underdog story. I liked it. I'm a big fan of racing and cars, so I really appreciated it.
I heard the cinematography is amazing. Like, it makes you feel like you want to go out and just drive.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money on just camera rigs itself, putting on those F1 cars, which are like $150 million, so they have to put their all in this movie.
That's crazy. What's more important, too, for me is after we talk about all the TV shows and all the films and video games, it kind of goes to where we are in the sector, which is social media and podcasting. Like social media back then, too. Like, we can even track it to a decade ago, 10 years ago. Social media was a completely different beast. I mean, we're talking about Instagram had filters and everyone always used the vignettes. To Vines, which were 7-second videos, and then now maybe 5 years ago when TikTok was really kind of being much more of a what is this app, short form videos that kind of became the norm, and vertical videos now have become almost the source of how people's incomes, careers. I mean, I've seen people make careers off of it too as well, just being influencers. And now I asked my little sister, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I asked her a couple years ago, and she was like, I want to be a streamer. I want to be a content creator. And I'm like, that's weird, because when I was her age, that was not even a freaking possibility or something that I could even think of. Yeah, like then and now it's stark changes, but it's also because of just how culture has shifted and technology has shifted. It may feel like I'm talking strictly about the technologic changes, but the stories also feel different. When we were talking about Vine, we actually kind of had to dissect the anatomy of a vine, and the vine had a beginning, middle, end, and then an exaggeration. There's a video, and we'll probably try to find it if we can, but it's just like one guy recording his foot, and then it zooms out and it's like, do it again. How are you recording your foot or something? And then it just keeps zooming out, and then there's like 5 tripods, and it's just this complete exaggeration. And it kind of leans into our old high and by short film Gum, which Mike Odd was a part of. And I was a part of too. I had a mohawk back then. I don't know if you remember that or anything like that, Mike Odd. But that was crazy.
Good times.
Good times. Do you remember anything from that production back then, Mike? Of Gum?
We had a script, and we went with it. And then towards the end, we kind of went crazy with it, but it made for some really good content at the end.
How did you feel like, so at the time, how old were we? Let's just date ourselves.
Early 20s.
Early 20s. I remember you were trying to impress a lady and myself as well back in the day. And now we look back on it, I'm like just cringing myself.
That was the goal, is to become create great content and pick up women at the same time.
that was the goal, huh?
Still the goal.
Hey, exactly, right? That's where there's 2 empty seats.
Job's not done.
Job's not done. Job's not finished. But yeah, I mean, chaotic about you. Like during that time, you were behind the camera and you still are. What was the difference between then and now in terms of the way that we handle social media?
Social media, yeah, I mean, nowadays you're just posting anything and everything. Like, you just got to keep posting. But back then, we posted maybe one big thing like a week or maybe in a month or something.
Right.
And, you know, we just kind of worked up to that moment. But now it's like you got to keep coming out with stuff today.
Yeah. And actually, now that you said that, it comes to like Instagram or everything like that. Even social media managers, restaurants, they're like day 1 out of 100 till they hit 10K followers, or let us hit 10K followers so our boss can take us on a Disneyland cruise or something like that. And then obviously, since it's so social and people want to help out for the good reason and the good fight, a bunch of people will do it just to do it. And those metrics kind of help out. But the most interesting one, I don't know if you guys follow, but it was called Smashed, which was a non-alcoholic alcoholic beverage. So they had this really good campaign where the intern was trying to get 100K followers, and she would smash a can and smash a can and smash a can. And this is actually in the span of 2 years. So I can talk about then and now in that sense. And she actually got to 100K followers, and she ended up becoming part of marketing. And then she went silent for about a couple months. As of maybe about 2 to 3 months ago, they added something where it was really like weird, and it was all like AI based and weird marketing based. And then you can kind of see that there's a lot of negative reactions that go with the brand and marketing. So, I mean, then and now could be that too, but I know that D Buster was talking about that a little bit in his solo podcast, and which is why I wanted to specifically stick with storytelling, since I'm a storyteller, Mike Odd's a storyteller, Bogsy's a storyteller, and D Buster's a storyteller, as well as JB, because I feel the only way that we can truly talk about a podcast is to talk about what you know and what you're an expert at. Otherwise, I'll just be shooting out of my ass just weird, non-existent information. Yeah, this is the 3 Dot Podcast. My name is Gooz. D Buster's not here. Bogsy's not here. But
Chaotic is right here.
And me, my God.
and me, my God. Yeah, guys, thanks for me rambling. Hopefully you got any little pieces of nuggets. And if you guys ever want to go ahead and comment, just like on anything of what I'm talking about, feel free. We answer. We look at the comments. Speaking of, I know I look like a fucking Schedule 1 character. Fuck you. All right?
Marcel.
Fuck you, buddy. Make it look like a Schedule. I'm gonna put the picture right here. Like, or do the zoom in right here. And then I'll do the Schedule 1 character right there. That's when they said that though, I was like, fuck, I do look like a Schedule 1 character. So I got caught. But anyways, guys. Yeah, it's 3 Dot Podcast, where the conversation does not stop. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. See ya.
Peace.